Lives of the Presidents, told in words of one syllable, by Jean S. Remy. Chester Alan Arthur. Chester Alan Arthur was born in Fairfield, Vermont, on October 5, 1830, and his father had charge of the church in that place and was one of the first men to speak for the poor slaves. Now, in those days, those good men did not live as well as they do now, for folks were poor in the small towns. So this small boy was also born in a log cabin, but he was sent to good schools and was quite young when he knew so much that he could go to Union College. All the time he was here, he paid his own way, and when he left college he taught school, so that he could lay by means to go to New York and study law. He was soon in law practice, and he and an old schoolmate made the name of their firm well known. Arthur took the part of the black race, just as his father had done, and in 1856 he won a suit which let the Negroes ride in horse cars with the whites. A slave girl had been put off a car, and Arthur took up her case and won it. For some years he held high office in the state of New York and was the general in the Civil War. He was not in the fights, but saw that the troops had clothes and food. He did this hard task so well that when the war was at an end, the president gave him the best place in New York State. He was made chief of the great port of New York and held this post for 2 terms. In 1880, he was made vice president with Garfield as president and, of course, took the chair when Garfield died. He held this place for 1 term and went back to his home in New York City and took up his law work. There was a split in his party at the end of his term. Some men wished Arthur to run once more for president, but more wished James G. Blaine of Maine, so of course Blaine was named. The Democrats named Grover Cleveland, and as all the men on that side wished this one man to win, he had the most votes, and for the first time in a long while the Democrats won in the race for president. 2 years from the time that Arthur came home, and right in the midst of his law work, he died in New York City. This was on November 18, 1886, and he was laid to rest in Albany. End of chapter 21.